I'm gonna go. It should still hear me over that. Yeah, right. And you should. That should sound like I normally sound. All right. All right. So we're getting better here in figuring it out. So still two. I'll have to get a. I'll have to do something here. So I'm gonna go back to camera one. That's what I'm gonna do, and I'll fix this all on my other computer. The joys. Stupid stuff. Sure, and you won't be here. No, really. Let me just. I'm trying to see what this preview is I have over here and why I couldn't get an aux. No, that's my old key. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that going up. And I will put this still back up there. I'll figure out what's going on here with the rest of this stuff. All right, we'll figure it out. All right, right, bye. All right. Oh, let's pause. All right, stand by. We will be coming up at 11 o'clock. And we are taking some free feeds of the Capitol. We're going to come up right at 10:59 and hopefully start broadcasting. I'm reading off my cell phone today because I have everything up and running. And I am doing this alone today. All right, welcome to Fat Cat Productions of News with a View. Doing this single. Alice Incognito. I seem to have given her my illness, but I think she has something else going on because she had stomach issues, and I don't have stomach issues. I'm actually did pretty good last night. I'm attributing that to copious amounts of vodka and tea. Not together, but it does sound wonderful. I'm drinking coffee today. And today, some of us waited 4 years for this. Some of us didn't know what was going to happen. And some of us had to be dragging, kicking, and screaming to this point. And what a wonderful time this is for Fat Cat Production and News with a View. Welcome aboard, as I said. Alice Incognito will not be here today. And the real tragedy was that she was supposed to bring hors d'oeuvres and little things to eat for me, and now I got nothing. Nothing. First, they have a new president, and I'm already screwed. Help is so hard to get. So far, everything looks good. We're running along here and doing our show. It should come up live. Doing everything that I'm supposed to do so far. Not sure. I haven't seen on YouTube that it clicked over from our banner, but we'll see what happens. I'm recording this anyway, so if it doesn't go out, big deal. I'll put it out on a video. Boy, well, we knew that Fauci was going to get a pass and Miley was going to get a pass, and that's exactly what has transpired. The president has given both those people, and probably a lot more we just haven't heard of yet, pardons. And again, Trump can do it, but I'm going to tell you right now, all the people that were associated with these folks who knew that untruths and shenanigans were going on behind the scene, let me tell you something. They're going to be brought up on charges. And all these folks are going to be called in as witnesses for the state or the government and will have to allocute to exactly what they knew. And if they lie or deviate or even refuse under their Fifth Amendment right, well, their Fifth Amendment right won't stand because you could say anything. And that happened in the past. And you are free to go. And, you know, how do you like that? How do you like that? Get out of jail free card. And I said, the presidents can do this. It's been done before. But we know why it was done. We know how it was done. And it's not going to just go away. I think that Trump will have his DOJ look into anything. And if it warrants, people around Fauci, people around Miley are going to be called, and they're going to be interviewed and statements given. And if they knew wrongdoing was going on and did not inform the proper authorities, I have a feeling those people are going to be going to jail. And I think people that think that this isn't going to happen, excuse me, or Trump is not going to do this, and it's not retribution. This is not retribution. This is exoneration. There's a huge difference. Trump is going to show how he was forced and corralled and singled out and hogtied. And it was going to be because they wanted to stop him. Not that he did any crime. But, like if you watch TV shows and if you talk to, or you listen to prosecutors and defense attorneys, they can, a district attorney could indict a ham sandwich. And that's what they were doing with Trump. They went after Trump, and they saw nothing wrong with it. Interesting stuff. Above me is a live feed of the Capitol. That's just for me, so I could see it there and elsewhere. And I stole that feed from someone, so you might see a commercial go up on it or whatever. But it's not, we're not blasting it to air, but I should give them a little free, you could go, want to log into him or see him, Capitol, and going back. I'm going to put my slide up for a second. Just for a second, I'm going to put my slide back up. And we are still here. I'm going to kill my audio because I want to see why we're not actually going out live. I think I'm recording, so I'm good with that. And I'm happy. All right, so please stand by, and we'll be back up in a second. Oh, look at that, the wrong one. There we go. and with the little Capitol building up there. So stand by. All right, we're back. I don't know why it's not pumping out to YouTube, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. I got bigger fish to fry. So I'm coming back over here. That was a hard cut. I did not take a fade. So we have Miley, who did a lot of shenanigans behind the scene, and in the name of whatever he'll say, uh, you know, he acted in the best interest of the United States, and blah 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 blah. He ain't the president. So this should be interesting to see what happens along the way. I think there's going to be problems for a lot of the people and ancillary people. People that not normally would have gotten caught up in all of this. But there will be a lot of people dragged in to say what they knew and when they knew. And, was it a lie? Well, that wasn't the truth, but I couldn't go and say, this was the case. And, yeah, I get it. We get it. We get it. But we shouldn't forget that we shouldn't forget what was going on. And there were a lot of people who knew what was going on and didn't do anything. And a lot of people that were behind what was going on. And if you don't think a Schumer didn't know, and Pelosi was the ringleader, absolutely the ringleader, in my opinion, that she really has to go. Schiff has to go. Nadler has to go. Green has to go. Waters has to go. These are really bad government people. Will Trump go after the deep state? I think these people are just, halfway up the plateau of the deep state. But, we'll start with them. And I'm hoping none of these people, and I'm glad. I'm hoping that Biden has not given them a pardon, because they threw him under the bus. And it's going to be, how do you like them apples? I think he's going to make them suffer. And it should be interesting. It should be interesting. Trump is going to sign executive orders today, saying the government only recognizes two genders, male and female, and those are by birth. Now, again, these get into real muddy waters when it comes to the Bill of Rights, and then the Constitution. I think reason will dictate, and common sense in the Supreme Court will dictate. You'll have uh, some of the robes who will take a stand to say they no. If you change your birth certificate and you have these physical attributes added or removed from your body and appendages, and you will fit the description of, well, you know, it just might get down to truth and labeling. They're going to have to follow the science. Do your chromosomes identify you? And that's been proven in court. Your DNA, proven in court. Your gender, proven in court. So it's going to be very hard when this gets down to the brass tacks with the robes to say a male isn't a male or a female isn't a female, and a male can be a female, and a female can be a male. The idea that if you want to classify yourself as, absolutely, absolutely. But that's your classification. I don't have to recognize that classification. I can recognize what the law would recognize. So if I'm an employer and I'm saying I'm hiring, I need this type of, there's the commercial going up. And I think I'm just going to go right out of there and just go over to that. Oh, but I got them on both because I got in3 as my picture-in-picture. So you're getting some free commercials here, but I tried to kill the audio, but I didn't realize that I did not kill the audio across the room because, well, I'm not a smart man. But we're back. The idea that I have to recognize you, and you're wrong, So, or no, it. You can come in and say, yes, I'm neither a male or female. Now, if my job had you just on a phone, and I would say, okay, but understand when you pick up the phone, you have to give a name, and we require that you give your birth name. You can just give your first name, and but you have to give your name. You can't use a pseudonym. You can't use, a flavor of the day. We don't do that. You pick up the phone. If you were born Mary, Virginia, you're going to answer the phone. This is Mary, Virginia. If you pick the phone up and say, I'm Bob, we're going to fire you. So, do you understand the terms of this agreement? Do you understand the terms set forth? I mean, you certainly are qualified for the job. You can pick up a phone, you have a great voice, have at it, but these are the rules. Can you live with the rules? Oh, you don't want to live with the rules. You should have the freedom to pick up the phone and just say, I'm, Bob. Well, we don't agree. We feel that, good luck going out in the next job and finding a path to success, but it's not going to be here. So next. And then all of a sudden, they're being sued. And that's what's been going on with this nonsense. You know, I don't see where people should have to say, you know, because of your choice, that has to become my choice. I have to accept, you're a female, even though, you're you're not, or you're a male and you're saying you're a female and you're not, or a female saying you're a male, or again, in some jobs, it wouldn't matter. You could go, well, you're answering my phones, and you know, you like dressing up as a woman, but you do answer the phone as Bob, and you identify yourself as Bob. Yeah, okay, answer my phone. Welcome aboard. But other ones where I have a company and I want to have an image, I shouldn't have to have that image anything but what I choose, and that's the way it should work. Um, is that discrimination? No, no. I can't walk in uh, to a court and represent someone because I feel like I'm a lawyer. And you go, well, no, no, that's different. No, no, it's not different. It's not different. Um, you are really born a male or a female. There are cases where well, you could have a gene defect. Yes, yeah, you could have lots of birth defects. Uh, and if you can prove that you have this birth defect, where you have an anomaly, and you then can choose which sex you want to be when that anomaly is recognized and you're old enough to make that choice. Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Not at all. It'd be like, telling someone that had, cancer. Oh, no, you can't work here. We don't want people with cancer. Um, that's a discrimination. Uh, you know, you might say, listen, you have cancer, and, you're you're working on you're working on steel girders, um, and you're blind now. Yeah, no, we can't hire you, and that's not discrimination. So uh, there's lots of reasons that you don't have to hire someone, and really, it's makes common sense, and common sense should rule the day. Uh, you know, I think the robes and judges and stuff, and a jury could understand discrimination in its face. Uh, but I think that some of this other nonsense is wasting our time. It's eroding our values, and we have values. I have values. If one of my children, and when I say children, I don't mean an adult, child. We call them our children, but they're not our children at a certain age. They're adults. Uh, if that adult were to say, "Hey, I'm gay, I'm this or that," yeah, I wouldn't be happy about it, only because I know what a struggle they're going to face. I see it. I have 70 years of experience to see what happens and what a struggle that is for them. Uh, in our family, we have interracial relations. And, you know, I would say if that was the 1960s, there'd be a lot of people going, oh, oh yeah, okay. Uh, but even in today's world, even in today's world, the children of that union uh, face a major problem. You know, they want to be accepted. Of course, everyone wants to be accepted. Uh, but they face discrimination from one group that they want to identify as, and the other group that say, no, you don't identify with us. And so they end up, who do they identify with? Who does a mixed child, identify with? You see a little black child who's playing with a white Barbie, and they have a black Barbie, and they go, no, no, the white Barbie is, she's prettier. I'll play with her. And that's got to be heartbreaking, to a parent or a grandparent or, any, you look at it and you go, no, both are beautiful, but both are different. But it's all right to be different. And then, at some point, does that little girl think that she's not pretty because she doesn't look like Barbie? Or even a white girl who doesn't look like Barbie. And we all gave our children, I had 3 girls. We gave them dolls and Barbies, and even gave them trucks, and had no problem with it. No problem with it whatsoever. And I'm sure some said, these were really pretty. I can never look like this, or I want to look like this. But we see that every day. You see, all the girls want to look like Taylor Swift. All the guys, when I was growing, you want to look like the Marlboro Man, or Clint Eastwood, or Chuck Norris. And no one wanted to look like Sylvester Stallone. Yeah. But I digress. The idea of gender identification, that you could make that on your own, and then people have to accept that. No. Nope. Nope. And I'll take it to the absurd. I buy a Lincoln Town car, and I go, I should pay the tax on that car. I identify that car as a Kia, whatever. And, $28,000 sticker price on one, $100,000 sticker price on the other. But that's how I identify it. For me. And, the clerk at DMV goes, yeah, great, you can identify it. I got the bill of sales here. It says it's a $100,000 car. I have a bill of sales here that says this is the make and model number, and this is the ID number that's only uniquely to that car. And you're going to pay us $6,987 in tax, sales tax for that car. Not $2,400 or $1,200, and but you can identify it any way you want. But see, I don't have to identify it that way, because I have paperwork here that says it's contrary to what you say it is. But if you want to call it your Kia, Have at it. And honestly, that's what a lot of this is. And then they want to do it in school, and they think an 8-year-old should be able to tell the teacher, I'm not John, you know, I'm a goo goo face. I want you to call me goo goo face. Because that's what I feel like. I feel like goo goo face. Or, you know, you hear it, you know, oh no, I'm Mr. Whiskers. I'm a cat. Call me Mr. Whiskers. You know what would have happened? And I was in public school. You know what would have happened? First, the teacher would drag me out of the class, and I'd be in the principal's office. And then when I was on the playground, a bunch of the kids would get around me and go, hey, Mr. Whiskers, you know, we're going to neuter you. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, kids can be cruel, you know. We were cruel up until about high school. My best friends, Alan and I, and my brother Donald, who were only months and months, Irish twins, you know, we were cruel. Funny, but cruel. And now the teachers have to go, well, all right, Mr. Googly Eyes, or Mr. Whiskers. I'm going to call you Mr. Whiskers. And instead, you know, back in the day, the principal would be on the phone. They go, I think there's something wrong with little Johnny, because he thinks he's Mr. Whiskers or Mr. Googly Eyes. He wants to be called Googly Eyes. We're not calling him Googly Eyes. You better come down here and get him, have a talk with him. And if this continues, you know, we're going to recommend, you know, that school psychiatrist sees him. So that all went away. And I'm trying to think of when that started slipping away. When did people think that it was all right for having a child decide what their immediate future is going to be and have a real say in it? And you have states like California where they go, oh, no, they can, if they tell the teacher they want this, you know, the teacher is obligated then to steer them to an individual, not the teacher themselves. You know, it's not going to take them in a car and take them to a doctor that does body augmentations, or but the school counselor might call the county up, and the county go, all right, yeah, well, and they don't have to tell the parent that even that discussion is going on. You think that's right? You think that that's a good thing? That you lose control over your child? Now, if they're 18 and want to do that, no, what are you going to do? But if they're 9, 8, and they, well, you know, and you have advocates, well, they know. You know, they know by that age what, you know, what they want. Really? Because, you know, I wanted to, you know, drive a subway. I wanted to be a fireman. I wanted to be a soldier. I wanted to do, you know, yeah, you know, a red ball rolled in front of me, and there I go. You know, it's still a problem today, but these are the problems that we face, and it really shouldn't be a problem we face. It's, you know, that's the parents' problem to go after, and then saying, oh, you know, why does little Susie want to be Bill? Why does Johnny want to be Jill? You know, I mean, you know, let's find out what's going on. But the parents should know. It shouldn't come as a surprise. Or they're given medication in school prescribed by a doctor. I didn't take them to. So I mean, just horrible, horrible, horrible decisions made outside parental control. And it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. So, I like the idea that, two genders. Makes it real simple. And as a company, I can ask you, on the application, are you male, you're a female? You got to answer that. If you don't answer it, I get to go, are you a male or female? And you go, well, I don't want to tell you. Well, your application's not filled out. I can't accept it. Now, if they put down there a female and they're really a guy, and I'm looking at them and I'm going, you're a dude. Can I see a driver's license? And we need to see that, you are who you say you are. You can work here, employment ID, and, an employer has to check these things. And then we find out that, no, you lied to us. Well, but you go. Adios. I get mad at stuff like that, and I realize some people don't get mad at that stuff. And isn't it interesting my phone shut off? God, I hate technology sometimes. I hate technology. And I had stuff up here just looking. We're 25 minutes away from the inauguration. Federal government, and again, when I say the two genders, it's federal government, because since the state can do what the state can do on that instance, and it might become a constitutional issue that states have to recognize federal law, or I don't know if this could even be federal law. It's again, it's the president signing a piece of paper, and every episode I have had so far, you know how I hate the presidential pen. So, there'll be a series of immigration signing, and you know how I hate the pen. So, it should be interesting. Trump said all throughout the campaign that he was going to release information on the JFK assassination and, the Martin Luther King assassination. That has been withheld. So that will be interesting. What are we going to learn? And when we do learn it, I was a kid when JFK was assassinated. I was a teenager by that point when Martin Luther King was assassinated. What do we do about it when we find out that it was a conspiracy? Or the FBI knew that there was an assassination attempt that was going to take place and elected maybe not to tell him so he wouldn't go out on his balcony? I don't know. That was always my feeling, is that they knew this guy was a target. They knew some of the organizations that were out there that they had infiltrated, And they might have told him. They might come out that, hey, we FBI told him, hey, stay low, and we're gonna have people out there in the crowd, looking around, and we're gonna do the best we can do, but you have to keep your visibility down to where you're going to tell us you're going to be. And he went out on his ledge, and someone was waiting for him, and bang. Um, and JFK, you know, obviously that was not a lone gunman. That was not a lone wolf. That one will be the real interesting one. Um, you know, you kill the president of the United States, and you kill a Martin Luther King, who was just at his peak of making changes. And, uh, the consequences of all that. Everything. Every action has a consequence. So that will be interesting when that information comes out. And if it comes out, if it really is there, if there is, meat on that bone. Because then you'll find out that, Gerald Ford, who sat on that committee, well, he withheld all that information. I mean, if it's there, it just makes it, super, super interesting. And, but we're the last of the people that actually were around to see them, to see these people. And, it means something to us to know. But I think most of my kids could basically care less, that's, yeah, Kennedy, yeah, right. And Martin Luther King, they hear that, they get the day off, and you just, that's it. It's like a word, and then it's gone. So should be interesting, and it should be interesting. This should be a wild first week. It will be interesting to see exactly what happens and how it happens, and then when he gets all his people in place, there'll be shakeups at the FBI. I don't think there'll be too much shakeup at the CIA, because that's a world inside a world within a country. It's its own little thing. The FBI is a little bit different because their feet are on the ground here. The CIA, they're all over the place. And, who's a CIA asset? There's a lot of CIA assets out there. You just don't know it. So, I will say that there's, immigration after January 6th stuff and the gender stuff and some of the other promises that he made. But immigration, that's going to be big. And again, we got to look for where leaks are. And that was leaks coming out of Trump's administration, pre-administration, of that they knew that they were going to go to Chicago and start in Chicago first. which I think was false information that was released just to shake Chicago up. Personally, I think they're going to start real close to home. New York. In California. Two of the rabid states that started a lot of this. And if I was Trump, I'd say New York first. One, because it's my old hometown. But would there not have been fires in California? I would have started there first. But you can't, you know, you don't want to go in there and start picking people out of refugee camps that are being set up there for these people. That's, yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't know if I would go down that road. But it's a road, and you can go down it. I mean, I probably have some horrible jokes to make about it, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Trump has been voted for. In 16 minutes, the fun and games start. And, you know, of course, there's the group of Proud Boys, you know, walking around there. And I'm still very upset because I had wanted to go. As sick as I am, I wanted to go. I wanted to go and see the inauguration. I wanted to go dressed in a garbage bag with garbage glued to the bag, and, you know, a little thing. This garbage was proud to vote for Donald Trump. Now, would they let me in? Would people have harassed me? Yeah, probably. You know, they'd be screaming at the protest, "Hey, you stupid boomer! Okay, you know what's good? You'll be dead soon." You know, I mean, that will be the, you know, and I'd be, you know, hoo, 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 hoo. Not with my free Medicare. You know, they're keeping me alive. You know, how's your premiums going? You know, how's that marketplace working out for you? You know, so yeah, I probably would have been in fights, and the police would have probably dragged me away. And, you know, my poor daughter, who's sick, would, you know, she'd make her husband. Well, her husband would probably come down and bail me out, and, you know, and my wife would have been with me. She would have been horrified. You know, but I wanted to do it because, as I stated before, I'm a huge believer in protesting, peaceful protesting. I think that's one of our biggest rights, is the right to assemble. You know, legally. And that's what really bothered me during COVID, when they said, nope, no one can get together. You can't, no church groups. Oh, absolutely no church groups. Nope, have to close churches down. And yet, Newsom was at parties. The beast Pelosi was getting her hair done. Governor Cuomo was doing his thing. And all of us, we couldn't have people over for Christmas and they go, if you see something, you call the police. That's your duty. Yeah. We turned into East Germany and the Stasi. Everyone taking notes on everyone and then handing them in. That's what we got. That's how close we came to it. And do you remember they go, well, we think pets might be carrying this, and China's grabbing all people's pets and destroying them because that's what they have to do. Now, I can only imagine what would have happened if they came down my block in South Carolina and said, we want your dogs and cats and birds and whatever you got in there. Bring them out. The minute that would have started, I would have stopped the police. Unarmed, I would have gone up to them and go, listen, I know what you're told to do. But if you go down there, you're not going home to your family tonight. So, my advice to you is don't go down that road. Find an excuse that you couldn't get down that road. And if you want to then use force to come down that road, there ain't enough of you. And people aren't going to give their pets up. Not here. Not here. Not happening. So there was a whole big talk on our street, and they do anything like that, we just go right up the street, park some cars, and tell them, if you want to go around us, you can do that. We're not moving the car. Car won't move. Battery died. I don't know. Go here. Here's the keys. You can go try to start it. You want to call a tow truck? Oh, good, great, thank you, good. So take it to a shop, put a new battery in for me. But you're not coming down this road. And if you do, with the idea that you're going to collect our pets, I fear for you. And as such, I'm telling you, don't do it. It's not a threat. Not a threat. Please don't do it. Find an excuse that you couldn't get down this road. You tried, you couldn't do it. It wasn't worth life and limb to try to drive around, and there's a gully there, and we'll get back to it later. And I would guarantee you go up to the next block and the next block and the next block, you're gonna have a problem. And then at some point you're not gonna have a problem. You're gonna go in there and you ain't coming out. That's how close we got to it, folks. And that was Fauci, who got a pardon. And I think all this has done now is put targets on these people. And that's just an opinion. I wish them well. They'll answer for what they did to a higher authority or wherever. But they will answer for what they've done. So I'm waiting for that to happen. Because you had crazy people out there that shot an insurance CEO. What do you think is going to happen to these people when the truth comes out? And the truth will come out. Believe me, the truth will come out. And Trump, like I said, is not looking for is not looking for revenge. It's exoneration. And the media and everyone, yeah, revenge. It's revenge. No, it's exoneration. And that is what is going to happen. And that is what's going to be the uh, his calling march. His cry of two arms. And I think America, part of America went that way. The other part went for the economy, and they just didn't like what Harris Biden have done and were planning on doing. So I think in that sense, there is you know, I'd say 40% of, well, maybe 60% of the MAGA people, and I'm a MAGA person, uh, we're armed, but we're not dangerous. We are armed under the laws of our state and under the laws of our country. And we know why we have that right. And nobody is going to take that away from us without a knockdown, drag out legal fight. I said not violent, not violent, no violence. Not for that, because I know it will never happen. It will never, ever, ever happen. And you know, it should be interesting. It should be interesting. Donald Trump's speech today. That's people calling me, probably going, "You idiot, stop talking." And I have this on for a reason. So I want to see how many of my buddies are calling me and telling me, I know what they're saying. "Oh, the video's not right. You could have framed that, and taken everything out and cropped it and did this." And I go, yes, but I'd have to remind them of I was the laziest man in television. So if I didn't do it for $1 billion company, you think I'm going to do it sitting in my living room? Well, my den. But I'm looking forward to hear the speech and everything that's going on with that. So let me see what's going on here. Sharing the live link. Bullshit, they're watching me do this. So there's about a 20-second, about a 15-minute delay that I see, and I didn't set that. That was set, by me. But I'm going to be fascinated by Trump's speech. If it had anything to do with his first speech, I mean, which was cringeworthy, even for me. It was like, eek, okay, you're not going to come in there with a little grace and a little dignity for everyone. You're just going to rake them over the coals. All right, you can do it. he treated that like that was a board conference, and he's sitting there and you know, well, you know, uh, DJ, this could go this way, and then he's humph, humph, that guy didn't give me a harumph. Um, uh, it became a cringeworthy view, and not to say that it didn't need to be cringeworthy, but really it was cringeworthy. Uh, so I had to laugh about I had to laugh about that. That was interesting, and let's see if he has learned a little bit more in how to play nice, and you know he really needed a Dale Carnegie course. If any of you remember Dale Carnegie? He really needed a Dale Carnegie course. So, I mean, I think he will. You know, he knows he's going to get his punches in with Biden, and he's going to get his punches in uh, with some of the people that the Democrats. Uh, so it's going to really be interesting to see uh, where this all goes, and you know, I'm again. It will just be interesting to see how this all goes down, and uh, uh, how he takes over in his step. I'm going to do this so I'm not rude looking down. I'm looking for the live feed, and so I'm going to go right to inauguration. All right, so we're going to go inauguration on my time, and then we'll see what happens here. You think there'd be, I know there's a lot of people out there doing this right now.
Actually clerked for Brett Kavanaugh when he was a judge at the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia.
And this is, you're hearing in the background CBS News. So we're watching Donald Trump come up to the podium and in the Capitol building, and there we Here we go.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
We have the 47th President of the United States. There we go. the speech and the pomp and ceremony
We
now.
have the 47th President of the United States.
I beat you to it.
President Donald Trump, only the second president in history
That's
to
right.
serve non-consecutive terms, sworn in on the Bible given to him by his mother and the Lincoln Bible. Congratulated by his family and friends.
Oh, there's Elon right in the middle.
Oh, you noticed a little scrambling there of the family to get up there, and they moved a couple of the music numbers later to get this done as close to noon as they possibly could. About 20 minutes behind on the regular schedule, but they
3 minutes
repositioned.
behind. A minute and a half behind.
It's absolutely essential, but certainly traditional to get that done at noon.
And because of that, we're not sure what's next. We don't know if it's the end.
Fitting way to start the Trump administration.
Oh, stop.
Because the schedule has been changed around a little bit. This is now the Marine Band.
I was going to pump this through my switcher, but I kept getting RF interference, so I was like, not going to do it. Donald John Trump, 47th President of the United States, and the fun begins. Look how tall Barron is. And I didn't realize that Vance was taller than Trump. Gotta hurt Harris right now. Gotta hurt Biden. The battle hymn of the Republic. We are a republic. Donald Trump a little more aged than he was. And now the second oldest president, and will be I think he'll be Biden's age by the time he's done. And Bob from New York is coming to. That's funny. Bob had stated they should have started with, "This time do you swear?" That is funny. I'm going back to my show. But, hey, Bob, that was funny. Come on, Bob. You know Trump. Hey, what does swear really mean? I mean, does it really mean anything? Let me ask the robes I bought. No, not the ones in my closet either. So, a big cheer.
And that was the Battle Hymn of the Republic by the United States Naval Academy Glee Club. Just a bit of history here. For over 138 years,
I was going to say,
this song has been a fixture of patriotic programs. Still sung in schools and churches across the nation.
No, it's not. Stop it, CBS. It's not been.
Eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
Yeah, really. You're not allowed to say the Lord in school. Stop it.
We're about to hear.
It's good to know
Senator
she's
Fisher,
sniffling too.
who will introduce the president. And as Senator Blunt reminded us, the first time two women have chaired this committee.
To introduce to you the 45th
Did
and
they
the
bake cookies?
47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
I hope you say, a little gams on her. But,
Thank you very much, everybody. Well, thank you very, very much. Vice President Vance, Speaker Johnson, Senator Thune, Chief Justice Roberts, Justices of the United States Supreme Court, President Clinton, President Bush, President Obama, President Biden, Vice President Harris, and my fellow citizens.
you're all under arrest.
The Age of America begins right now.
All right, let's see.
From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world. We will be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of any longer. During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first.
Are you listening, Bob? Are you listening?
Our sovereignty will be reclaimed. Our safety will be restored. The scales of justice will be rebalanced. The vicious, violent, and unfair weaponization of the Justice Department and our government will end.
All right. He's addressing it.
And our top priority will be to create a nation that is proud, prosperous, and free.
Pause for applause.
America will soon be greater, stronger, and far more exceptional than ever before.
Please say we'll last 1,000 years. That's for you, Bob.
That we are at the start of a thrilling new era of national success. A tide of change is sweeping the country. Sunlight is pouring over the entire world. And America has the chance to seize this opportunity like never before. But first, we must be honest about the challenges we face. While they are plentiful, they will be annihilated by this great momentum that the world is now witnessing in the United States of America. As we gather today, our government confronts a crisis of trust. For many years, a radical and corrupt establishment has extracted power and wealth from our citizens while the pillars of our society lay broken and seemingly in complete disrepair. We now have a government that cannot manage even a simple crisis at home, while at the same time stumbling into a continuing catalog of catastrophic events abroad. It fails to protect our magnificent, law-abiding American citizens, but provides sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals, many from prisons and mental institutions that have illegally entered our country from all over the world. We have a government that has given unlimited funding to the defense of foreign borders, but refuses to defend American borders or, more importantly, its own people. Our country can no longer deliver basic services in times of emergency, as recently shown by the wonderful people of North Carolina, been treated so badly.
All right, good. Glad he mentioned that. That's
And other states who are still suffering from a hurricane that took place many months ago. Or more recently, Los Angeles, where we're watching fires still tragically burn. From weeks ago, without even a token of defense, they're raging through the houses and communities, even affecting some of the wealthiest and most powerful individuals in our country, some of whom are sitting here right now.
I'm glad he's looking at him.
They don't have a home any longer. That's interesting. But we can't let this happen. Everyone is unable to do anything about it. That's going to change. We have a public health system that does not deliver in times of disaster, yet more money is spent on it than any country anywhere in the world. And we have an education system that teaches our children to be ashamed of themselves in many cases, to hate our country despite the love that we try so desperately to provide to them. All of this will change starting today, and it will change very quickly.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, of course. That's for you, Bob. I'm doing this all for you.
My recent election is a mandate to completely and totally reverse a horrible betrayal and all of these many betrayals that have taken place, and to give the people back their faith, their wealth, their democracy, and indeed their freedom. From this moment on, America's decline is over.
Well, the words are nice.
Our nation's glorious destiny will no longer be denied, and we will immediately restore the integrity, competency, and loyalty of America's government. Over the past 8 years, I have been tested and challenged more than any president in our 250-year history, and I've learned a lot along the way. The journey to reclaim our republic has not been an easy one, that I can tell you. Those who wish to stop our cause have tried to take my freedom and indeed to take my life. Just a few months ago in a beautiful Pennsylvania field, an assassin's bullet ripped through my ear. But I felt then, and believe even more so now, that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again.
Yes. If you believe in God, God has a hand. Nothing wrong with that, folks. Lonnie looks like a 1940s outfit. Looks very cute.
That is why each day under our administration of American patriots, We will be working to meet every crisis with dignity and power and strength. We will move with purpose and speed to bring back hope, prosperity, safety, and peace for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. For American citizens, January 20th, 2025 is Liberation Day. It is my hope that our recent presidential election will be remembered as the greatest and most consequential election in the history of our country.
Oh, that it will be.
As our victory showed, the entire nation is rapidly unifying behind our agenda with dramatic increases in support from virtually every element of our society, young and old, men and women, African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, urban, suburban, rural, and very importantly, we had a powerful win in all 7 swing states, and the popular vote, we won by millions of people. To the Black and Hispanic communities, I want to thank you for the tremendous outpouring of love and trust that you have shown me with your vote. We set records, and I will not forget it. I've heard your voices in the campaign, and I look forward to working with you in the years to come. Today is Martin Luther King Day, and his honor, this will be a great honor, but in his honor, we will strive together to make his dream a reality. We will make his dream come true.
Well, I don't know if it was a dream more than what was expected for every American, but that's okay.
National unity is now returning to America, and confidence and pride is soaring like never before. In everything we do, my administration will be inspired by a strong pursuit of excellence and unrelenting success. We will not forget our country. We will not forget our Constitution, and we will not forget our God. Can't do that.
There you go. Hey, that guy's not
Today I will
clapping.
sign a series of historic
Get his name.
executive orders. With these actions, we will begin the complete restoration of America and the revolution of common sense. It's all about
Yes, common sense. That's what I keep saying. Common
First,
sense.
I will declare a national emergency at our southern border.
All right. Close that border down. All right. The fun begins, folks.
All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came.
Now, I want you to understand, he's saying criminal.
Reinstate my Remain in Mexico policy. I will end the practice of catch and release.
Thank you.
And I will send troops to the southern border to repel the disastrous invasion of our country.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Under the orders I signed today, we will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
Yes, 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 yes. And the countries that harbor them.
And by invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks, bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil, including our cities and inner cities.
Yes. Yes, because they wouldn't do it themselves.
As Commander-in-Chief, I have no higher responsibility than to defend our country from threats and invasions, and that is exactly what I am going to do. We will do it at a level that nobody's ever seen before. Next, I will direct all members of my cabinet to marshal the vast powers at their disposal to defeat what was record inflation and rapidly bring down costs and prices.
Well, I don't know if you could do that, but that sounds good.
The inflation crisis was caused by massive overspending and escalating energy prices, and that is why today I will also declare a national energy emergency. We will drill, baby, drill.
All right. I don't know if the oil companies are going to agree with you because you just said we're going to lower the price. I don't know. I think you're going to run into a little problem there.
America will be a manufacturing nation once again, and we have something that no other manufacturing nation will ever have, the largest amount of oil and gas of any country on earth, and we are going to use it. We'll use it.
They're like,
We will bring prices down, fill our strategic reserves up again, right to the top, and export American energy all over the world. We will be a rich nation again, and it is that liquid gold under our feet.
I'm not sure.
To do it.
I'm not sure about
My actions today,
that.
we will end the Green New Deal, and we will revoke the electric vehicle mandate.
Thank God. Thank God.
My sacred pledge to our great American auto workers.
That will be interesting because Elon Musk, of course, with Tesla. Let's see what happens there. But I think Tesla knew that the electric car was not going to work.
To buy the car of your choice. We will build automobiles in America again at a rate that nobody could have dreamt possible just a few years ago. And thank you to the auto workers of our nation for your inspiring vote of confidence. We did tremendously with their vote. I will immediately begin the overhaul of our trade system to protect American workers and families.
Yeah, well, our trade.
Instead of taxing our citizens to enrich other countries, we will tariff and tax foreign countries to enrich our citizens.
Well, yes and no. But
for this purpose, we are establishing the External Revenue Service to collect all tariffs, duties, and revenues. It will be massive amounts of money pouring into our treasury, coming from foreign sources. The American dream will soon be back and thriving like never before.
well,
To restore competence and
it is a way for them to build over here.
My administration will establish the brand new Department of Government Efficiency.
Yeah. It's another government agency. It's not an agency yet, but it will be. Thought we had the General Accounting Office.
After years and years of illegal and unconstitutional federal efforts to restrict free expression, I will also sign an executive order to immediately stop all government censorship and bring back free speech to America.
Interesting. I didn't think there was a problem. I was worried about free speech. I don't know if you need an executive order. Got the First Amendment. Exercise it.
Never again will the immense power of the state be weaponized to persecute political opponents. Something I know something about. We will not allow that to happen. It will not happen again. Under my leadership, we will restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law.
Yes, constitutional law. It's good, baby.
And we are going to bring law and order back to our cities. This week, I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life.
Thank you. Thank you.
We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based.
Thank you.
As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Yeah, I was saying that before. It could be difficult to carry out state law in states, but federal does supersede states, so.
This week, I will reinstate any service members who were unjustly expelled from our military for objecting to the COVID vaccine mandate with full back pay.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And I will sign an order to stop our warriors from being subjected to radical political theories and social experiments while on duty. It's going to end immediately.
Yes. Yes.
Our armed forces will be freed to focus on their sole mission, defeating America's enemies.
Hey, Bob. External and internal. That's for you. Just kidding, Bob. Bob is a veteran. Served this country. And when I say served this country, he was a cook.
In 2017, we will again build the strongest military the world has ever seen. We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into.
Yeah. Yeah. Biden. This speech is a lot better than his first speech.
My proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker and a unifier. I'm pleased to say that as of yesterday, one day before I assumed office, the hostages in the Middle East are coming back home to their families.
Not quick enough, and not what I would have done. You release them all, or you release none. If you release none, tomorrow this part of your city's gone. Next day, that part of your city's gone, until we find our hostages. But we're going to find you first.
Thank you. America will reclaim its rightful place as the greatest, most powerful, most respected nation on earth, inspiring the awe and admiration of the entire world. A short time from now, we are going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and we will restore the name of a great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley, where it should be and where it belongs.
The Gulf of America. Okay. I don't know if that's important, but...
President McKinley made our country very rich through tariffs and through talent. He was a natural businessman and gave Teddy Roosevelt the money for many of the great things he did, including the Panama Canal, which has foolishly been given to the country of Panama after the United States.
It was a
The United
lease.
States, I mean, think of this, spent more money than ever spent on a project before and lost 38,000 lives in the building of the Panama Canal. We have been treated very badly from this foolish gift that should have never been made, and Panama's promise to us has been broken. The purpose of our deal and the spirit of our treaty has been totally violated. American ships are being severely overcharged and not treated fairly in any way, shape, or form, and that includes the United States Navy. And above all, China is operating the Panama Canal, and we didn't give it to China, we gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
All right. Yeah, and, well. Donald Trump, Indian giver.
Above all, my message to Americans today is that it is time for us to once again act with courage, vigor, and the vitality of history's greatest civilization. So as we liberate our nation, we will lead it to new heights of victory and success.
Well,
we will not be deterred. Together we will end the
I know what I'll be talking about tomorrow.
And keep our children safe, healthy, and disease-free. The United States will once again consider itself a growing nation, one that increases our wealth, expands our territory, builds our cities, raises our expectations, and carries our flag into new and beautiful horizons. And we will pursue our manifest destiny into the stars, launching American astronauts to plant the stars and stripes on the planet Mars.
I don't think that's all important. We got money to spend elsewhere. Do it, it's fine. But let's get our border secured, get our food prices down.
Is the lifeblood of a great nation. And right now our nation is more ambitious than any other. There's no nation like our nation. Americans are explorers, builders, innovators, entrepreneurs, and pioneers.
I got to really work on my Trump impersonation.
The spirit of the frontier is written into our hearts. The call of the next great adventure resounds from within our souls. Our American ancestors turned a small group of colonies on the edge of a vast continent into a mighty republic of the most extraordinary citizens on earth. No one comes close. Americans pushed thousands of miles through a rugged land of untamed wilderness. They crossed deserts, scaled mountains, braved untold dangers.
Please mention the
Wild
indigenous
West ended
Indians,
slavery,
please.
rescued millions from tyranny,
Please.
lifted billions from poverty, harnessed electricity, split the atom, launched mankind into the heavens, and put the universe of human knowledge into the palm
Well, Russia
of the
did that
human
first,
hand.
but then
If we work together, there is nothing we
Sputnik,
cannot
but-
do, and no dream we cannot achieve. Many people thought it was impossible for me to stage such a historic political comeback. But as you see today, here I am. The American people have spoken.
I'm back, baby. But I wish he would have talked about the Indians, the American Indians. The Indians should have had an immigration policy. Shows you what happens when you don't have one.
I stand before you now as proof that you should never believe that something is impossible to do. In America, the impossible is what we do best. From New York to Los Angeles, from Philadelphia to Phoenix, from Chicago to Miami, from Houston to right here in Washington, D.C., our country was forged and built by the generations of patriots who gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. They were farmers and soldiers, cowboys and factory workers, steel workers and coal miners, police officers and pioneers who pushed onward, marched forward, and let no obstacle defeat their spirit or their pride. Together they laid down the railroads, raised up the skyscrapers, built great highways, won two
Yeah,
world
liberals
wars,
tell me
defeated
that he has a
fascism and
mental,
communism,
cognizant
and
problem.
triumphed over every single challenge that they faced. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. With your help, we will restore America's promise, and we will rebuild the nation that we love, and we love it so much. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. So to every parent who dreams for their child, and every child who dreams for their future, I am with you, I will fight for you, and I will win for you. We're going to win like never before.
I love that term.
Thank you. In recent years, our nation has suffered greatly, but we are going to bring it back and make it great again, greater than ever before. We will be a nation like no other, full of compassion, courage, and exceptionalism. Our power will stop all wars and bring a
I'll
new
say
spirit
he goes
of
for
unity
another
to a
3
world
minutes.
that has been angry, violent, and totally unpredictable. America will be respected again and admired again, including by people of religion, faith, and goodwill. We will be prosperous. We will be proud. We will be strong, and we will win like never before. We will not be conquered. We will not be intimidated. We will not be broken, and we will not fail. From this day on, the United States of America will be a free, sovereign, and independent nation. We will stand bravely. We will live proudly. We will dream boldly, and nothing will stand in our way because we are Americans. The future is ours, and our golden age has just begun. Thank you. God bless America. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well,
The inaugural address of the
a
47th president
big
of the United
difference
States,
of
Donald
speech
Trump. It was billed
than
as an
his
optimistic
first
and hopeful address.
inauguration.
Donald Trump said he wants to be a peacemaker and a unifier, promising to put America first and to usher in a revolution of common sense. In his words, you just heard him say, our golden age has just begun. But he then plunged into a list of grievances, said from this moment on, America's decline is over. We're going to dig into the details of this speech. But I think first we want to hear from Carrie Underwood, who is set to deliver America the Beautiful.
Well, that was interesting, and the decline that we speak of, and the decline was there. We saw it. I think Trump can do most of the things he's talking about. There's some things that I just don't think he will be able to get control of too quickly. I like the idea of so I think that most of what Trump would like to do, he'll do. I want to make sure that using our federal troops on our border, which I certainly agree with, but there's an understanding on the rule of code of conduct. But it needs to be done. We just can't have these people pouring over and what was allowed. And even, and I will say, every president, I don't care what color or party they were, it didn't matter. And now it has to stop. It got ridiculous. And, we saw that when Cuba released everyone out of their prisons and mental institutions and stuff and shipped them over, and our jails filled up here. We had a taste of that. And then when Obama and Biden and Clinton, who also Clinton deported the most amount of people, but it was a run for the money. It was, just get your big toe over here. Mostly Obama, get your big toe over here. Just get across the border. We don't just get here. We'll worry about that and everything else. And then, they came up, the children that were born here, well, they're dreamers. No, they might have dreams. My children who were born here also have dreams. So the idea of, bring them over and we'll give them the face that they need to be seen. So people will go, oh, I can't do that. Enough. And I think a lot of people did say they had enough of what was going on. They had enough of the shenanigans, and it was time to end. And Biden just refused. He was stuck there, and he had his people that he had to answer to. And the last 2.5 years of the Biden administration, I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping Trump exposes who was driving the bus. I think it was Obama and Pelosi, with a handful of Democrats in the background, Schumer, Schiff. I think there was no way Biden was running the day-to-day activities. He might have had some hands in some of the stuff, but there's no way that guy had any full control. And, we paid. We paid for that. And whatever the bill that Trump and his administration, we're going to have to pay that too. Might not be as high. And, he's talking about an external Department of Revenue. That might work in the short. But the idea that you want those people to bring the jobs here and then they don't have to pay those taxes, then that dries up. But then we're working and you get taxes in other ways, and, it has a trickle-down effect. It's a good idea. It just, none of that happens fast. None of that happens fast. And I think that we have to watch out for that. But, yeah, other than that, it was a good speech, a little on the nose on some topics. So, let's see. I think I counted 8 executive orders that were coming out. Could be wrong. And there's probably more that, he's in the back signing right now. But whatever it is, it is. Democrats, please give Trump the room to succeed or fail. Don't put roadblocks in front of him. Ask questions. You know, make him show what he's doing. Make it fit the Constitution. Make sure it fits. And if not, you have a right to challenge that. And you know, but don't put roadblocks in front of him, just political roadblocks. You could put constitutional roadblocks in front of him. All for that, and I think some of the things that he wants to do will get called on by the robes. And we'll see what happens. You know, but all in all, it was a good speech. I wish I had been there. No. Maybe I'll make it to Vance's. Who knows? But I liked it. I thought it was good. I think America needs to hear that. And of course, you know, I know, you know, they're already writing opinion pieces, and you know, putting the opinion pieces in between news pieces, so people don't understand what opinion means, and they just go, oh, look what he's doing, oh my God, this is going to happen. So we'll see what happens. And I'm glad I set this camera up so you don't see that I'm actually in my pajamas. I was tired today and still not feeling 100%, but actually feeling a little better today. Was supposed to go out with Alice Incognito and wives and husbands and stuff, but she's sick, and you know, yeah. And my policy is you can't work from home. So all I know is that we might have to have a new co-host sitting here. So I was going to get a blow-up doll, but I left it at Bob's house, so I'm not buying another one. And I can't depend on Bob giving it back. So, all right. With that, I'm going to start looking at other things. I have this to tape. I probably will make some edits in it, but I just might send it out as is. Just put, you know, an opening and closing credits on it, and call it a day. Getting all this to work and do what I wanted it to do took a little time, and my living room, well, my den, you know, looks like, you know, when we would do something in Studio 41 on a fly, or 44, and wires all over the place and stuff, but I was very happy with how I pushed everything through the internet and got all that working, and figured that, and now I can go and do Facebook and X live casts at the same time. This was only to YouTube, but probably by Friday I'll be pushing a live show Friday out the door to all three. And with this little switcher, I get feed three feeds at a time, and with another service I have, I can take it from there, and they'll split it out for me. And so in the next couple of weeks, I will be pushing our little show out much further. Right now, I only got, you know, a handful of people looking at me. But in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have a lot more. And, well, at least I hope I do. And again, the channel is not monetized. I am not monetizing it, you know, yet. You know, again, unless I get 1,000 subscribers or something, I wouldn't even think of monetizing the the channel. I mean, there's a lot of things that you got to do that, and you know, you got to leave a little piece of your soul, and my soul isn't that big. There's not much left to it, so I'd have to look at that, and I still have to get Bob to come in onto the show and fight with me and tell me I'm a moron and an idiot and I don't know anything. And maybe I'll have him set it up so it would be on the couch of the many beer bottle caps that I threw at him during our drunken debates on who was smart and who was, well, who was dumb and who was double stupid. We settled a lot of the world's problems until we had to clean up the mess in the morning. All right, with that, I'm going to say good night. Or, well, it's actually good afternoon. Say a prayer to our hurricane victims, our fire victims. If you're going to give a donation, remember, keep saying this, registered charities, you know, the churches you might go to that might have a program set up for that. But people you trust. Gotta have people you trust. And you don't want to become a victim helping a victim. So everyone, have a good Sunday. Well, Monday, have a good Monday. I'm a day behind. And we will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a late one. I got my granddaughter's birthday tomorrow. So I probably won't be going up until about 9 o'clock. And I might do that live, too. I might sit here and do it live if I get enough things to talk about. And, you know, gee, I don't know if there's going to be things to talk about tomorrow. All right. Well, everyone, be good. Be safe. Be happy. Be thankful. And with that, I'm just going to fade to black.